The wrench that Rip Torn threw at Justin Long in Dodgeball was made of rubber, but it still busted open his eyebrow for real. Dodgeball, a true underdog story, turns 20 years old today. So here are some things I bet you never knew about it. Dodgeball's writer and director, Rawson Marshall Thurber, had never written or directed a movie before this, but he wanted to make something that paid tribute to the classic sports comedies and dramas of his youth, including Bad News Bears, Caddyshack, Hoosiers, and Bull Durham. In fact, the average Joes wear red and yellow in the movie in tribute to Hoosiers. The movie was originally titled Underdog, which would have been much worse. Thurber wrote the movie with Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, and Justin Long in mind. Vaughn's character was also heavily influenced by Bill Murray in Stripes and Ghostbusters, and Thurber wanted Justin Long based on his performance in Galaxy Quest. Eventually, the script got to Ben Stiller, who agreed to produce it with his shingle, Rudd Hour Films, but no studio in Hollywood wanted to make it. DreamWorks and MGM both passed, and 20th Century Fox only gave it a green light after Ben Stiller agreed to greatly reduce his salary to below $1 million. Fox gave the movie a reported budget of $20 million. Ben Stiller has admitted that he essentially redid his character from Heavyweights for this movie because he thought that no one had seen Heavyweights. He didn't find out till later that it had a large cult following thanks to airings on the Disney Channel. Thurber cast Stiller's wife, Christine Taylor, because he wanted something to play off of Ben Stiller's villain role. Stiller and Taylor had an 18-month-old baby at home while they were shooting this movie. Alan Tudyk said he was the only guy who auditioned for Steve the Pirate who wasn't wearing full pirate costume to the audition. Actor Ken Marino later said he was one of those other guys wearing a pirate outfit. Hank Azaria plays a younger version of Rip Torn's character in this movie, and intentionally sounds nothing like him. This movie has a number of wild cameos, including Gary Cole and Jason Bateman, who shot all of their scenes in half a day, William Shatner as the Dodgeball Chancellor, Lori Beth Denberg as a cheerleader, Patton Oswalt as the video store clerk, Norm Macdonald can be seen in some of the Globo Gym scenes, and of course there's Lance Armstrong, Chuck Norris, and David Hasselhoff. Chuck Norris did not want to do the movie, because he didn't want to drive from where he was in Long Beach to Los Angeles where they were shooting. So they sent a helicopter for him. And he had no idea that the movie would end with Ben Stiller cursing his name until he saw it. The cast went through some dodgeball training prior to filming, which they all said was pretty hard. And some stunts did go wrong. Besides having his eyebrow cut open with that rubber wrench, Justin Long got a slight concussion from some rubber balls that were pelted at him during the training montage. Stiller also threw a dodgeball at his wife's face by accident, which led to some marital tension. And he also broke a few cameras with his ball throwing. There were 500 extras on set for the big dodgeball matches, and many of them were prison inmates. The cast said the hardest part of filming the dodgeball scenes was not flinching when you knew you were about to get hit by the ball. The movie originally ended with the average Joes losing the big match, but test audiences hated it so much that they changed it to having the Joes win, and Ben Stiller's character backsliding into his unhealthy habits. When Vince Vaughn shows off the treasure chest at the end of the movie, it says Deus Ex Machina on it. The film opened to $30 million domestic and went on to make $168 million worldwide total, more than 8 times its budget. And it got mostly okay reviews and now has a 71% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Ben Stiller won the MTV Movie Award for Best Villain and was also nominated for Worst Actor at the Razzies that year for all 5 of his films that came out in 2004. Dodgeball, Anchorman, Along Came Polly, Envy, and Starsky and Hutch. Thurber created ESPN 8 The Ocho in the film to satirize ESPN 2, which was calling itself The Deuce at that time. And since 2017, the actual ESPN has incorporated ESPN 8 The Ocho into its programming. On numerous occasions, it's done special theme days with ESPN 8 The Ocho, where it shows unusual and lesser-known sports. The channel also appears in the new Knuckles series on Paramount+. After Dodgeball came out, a number of real adult dodgeball leagues started popping up across the country, and Gary Cole was even invited to a tournament in Chicago. Helen Mirren has said on numerous occasions this is one of her favorite movies. The movie's DVD features a joke commentary that starts out with Vince Vaughn and Rawson Marshall Thurber drinking beers and shit-talking Ben Stiller. Then Ben Stiller shows up, and they all get into this big argument and storm out, and then the commentary just switches to the Something About Mary commentary track. A sequel to Dodgeball is in the works, or at least it was as of April 2023, when 20th Century Studios announced that Vince Vaughn would be returning for a second Dodgeball movie, written by Jordan Van Dina. Unfortunately, there haven't been any updates since, so who knows if it's still happening.